Welcome to another season of Dish It Out. You have some special things in store for you, but without further ado, let me introduce the one and only Chef Doug V.
Why, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. My right-hand man, literally, Chef Frank Benowitz, and we're here to make some exciting dishes for you tonight. First up is our fish.
Well, we're going to keep it local with this episode, and we're going to do some Jersey golden tile fish that was provided by Viking Village. And this is a fish that I entered in the Governor's Challenge this season. So I'm happy to do that. Along with it's going to be some Jersey salsa, a blueberry peach salsa, all using New Jersey ingredients. So it's keeping it local today.
And you forgot to mention it was an award-winning dish.
Well, second place, so.
That's right. And we're also going to have some Magdalena pork sliders for you today, a special breed of pork. You found from a local farm here in New Jersey, so again, a local product.
Yeah, there's some wonderful farms, and we're going to talk about it today, so.
Stay tuned for this episode of Dish It Out. Welcome back to Dish It Out. Now it's time for the fun stuff we get to cook.
We're dishing it out, as they would say.
Well, no, we got to cook first, then we dish it out.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
All right, so first off, we're going to start with our fish dish, and I'm going to make a very complicated dish called a gastrique.
A gastrique, that's what I did for the competition as well.
What a coincidence. Our gastrique here is kind of sweet, kind of sour. It's going to be a blueberry gastrique featuring a New Jersey blueberry wine. And for this, we're going to have, we have half a cup of sugar here. And what we do, typically for a half a cup of sugar, we'll add an equal amount of, oftentimes it's vinegar. We're using half rice vinegar and half of our wine. But we're also going to add about 2 tablespoons of water, just so we get our sugar to look like wet sand. What we want to do is we're going to caramelize our sugar first, make it look pretty, nice color on there.
Absolutely.
And then all at once, we're going to add our vinegar and wine.
And the reason I chose to do a blueberry gastrique is because it's going to match up with the blueberry peach salsa. Ties together different levels of flavor that we're preparing for this particular fish dish, and also to showcase the wonderful wines that we have here in New Jersey. We are keeping it local, so all local New Jersey ingredients. So that means if you live in New Jersey, or even if you're just visiting, you can go ahead and get all these wonderful products in your local farm market.
One of the trickiest parts of this is it's really, really hot. I know it's on, it's fire under here. We expect it to get hot, but sugar is deceptive because if you get any on you, it sticks and burns, and it's almost impossible to get off.
It's like napalm. What was that movie? Classic movie. Nothing like the smell of napalm in the morning.
Well, hopefully we're not going to smell anything like that here today.
No, no.
Not in our kitchens.
Be running out screaming on fire.
So, all right. So we're going to let this reduce down, and you noticed. That sugar would easily have fit in this pan. That's cute, isn't it?
It's very cute.
But when we're trying to do cook things quickly, or we want to reduce things down like we're going to when we add our vinegar and wine, the more surface area you have, the more that liquid dissipates more quickly, and it'll thicken up for us.
And a lot of times on your portable burner, on your burners at home, as opposed to the portable burner, this may actually be easier because sometimes on these portable burners, it's very difficult to control the exact heat.
Unless you're a trained professional.
Absolutely, you're doing well so far. Try doing that outside at the governor's mansion.
Well, I don't have to. That's what we have you for.
Oh, well, sometimes.
But now, if you want to learn this technique, of course, you're welcome to join us here at the Culinary Center at Mercer County Community College.
I thought we weren't doing those shameless plugs this season.
Shameless plugs are us. So we're starting to get a little color here. It's not as white as it was. We're going to let it get a little more color here before we finish it off.
And again, I'm mentioning already, new season, doesn't matter. You all need to go ahead and get that smell-o-vision.
No, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. Okay. So we're just about there.
You see that bubbly? It's like the old What's Happening episode, bubbly brown sugar, but this is white sugar.
You're dating yourself.
I know.
And with those jokes, that's all you're going to get to date you.
Well, let's hope I'm not reaching my expiration date at this point.
All right. Okay, so.
See, real cooking. Look, there's smoke.
There we go.
Who said where there's smoke, there's fire? I don't see any fire.
I'm going to mix our rice wine vinegar and our red wine all together. I just did, so apparently I am.
Do you have a permit for that?
So, all right, so I'm going to add this all at once. If you add this a little at a time, it's going to sizzle and pop and scald you, so don't do that. So be brave, just pour it in all at once. And you're going to see it forms two separate layers. You can see the sugar underneath, and then we have our vinegar and wine up top. And what's going to happen is we're going to melt that sugar again because we've cooled it down. And once that happens, we're going to let it continue to reduce. And we're going to let it reduce down until it gets fairly thick, so we actually are going to be able to paint it on the plate.
And again, the reason that gastrique is a great technique, you see it in a lot of the high caliber restaurants, classic French technique. And it's nice just to garnish a plate or in place of a sauce. In this case, it balances. That's why I use the rice vinegar, because I also have rice vinegar in the salsa. So again, about leveling and layering of flavors, and that's something that is very important when you cook.
Okay. Now I'm going to put this on the back burner, literally.
Yes.
All right, and what do we have going on the burner next here, Frank?
Well, what we have over here is something that we started ahead of time in the interest of time. Again, local products. We have here, if you can see inside there, some. It's going to be a tomato bacon maple jam. So similar to a marmalade, and that's going to go with these wonderful Magalista pork burgers. The Magalista pork burgers that you can get from Moe's Fun Farm in New Jersey. Moe's Fun has these burgers. They are available for retail purchase as well. So if you're at home, I'm sure you can order them. They are quite delicious. They're not an inexpensive item, but compared to ordering a steak or something like that, I think it's worth the price. This actually has bacon mixed in with the ground pork, and this sweet tomato using Jersey tomatoes, using the Jersey smoked bacon, as well as even Jersey maple syrup. New Jersey, believe it or not, we do maple syrup now too.
Exactly. And what goes better with bacon than more bacon, right?
Absolutely. So we got pork, we got bacon, and we got more bacon.
Okay.
So we're at the point where we can go ahead and you're going to immersion blend this. You could, if you have a Vitamix at home, that would be another great tool to finish this off, or a blender. But the immersion circulator is perfect because
this works well as long as you remember to keep it submerged, so
yes,
that our nice white jackets actually stay white.
Exactly. You don't want to be wearing it. I don't think I don't think even Lady Gaga would wear a maple bacon jam, would she?
I don't think so, but I'm sure she would eat it.
You think so?
She'd be a fool if she didn't.
I think there's a better chance that she'd wear it. But most importantly, that we're not wearing it today.
That's true. Notice I'm tilting it back so I have a little more depth.
Absolutely. I always knew you were deep.
There we go. But I'm fun.
I beat you to the punch on that one.
Didn't see that coming, did we?
And again, I know you hate it, but that smell-o-vision is essential, because that smoky bacon aroma that's coming off here is, you know, I know I sometimes sweat on camera, but this is actually drool today.
Okay, we're in TMI territory now.
Yes, thank you for playing the Too Much Information game. I'm a winner.
There we go. So, there we go. Something else for the back burner.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind, Chef Frank. Take care of that.
Certainly.
Next up, it's slider time. Actually, I took the wrong pan. I'm going to use this one. It has a little higher side to it. This is pork, so it's, but we're going to use some olive oil to sear these off. We're going to start them off in a pan, and we're going to finish them off in the oven.
Now that's a healthier fat, the olive oil.
It is, coincidentally, because it goes well, pairs up with our pork. Why is that, Frank?
Well, it's a beautiful thing, and you can look on the Moe's Fun website too. It's very interesting about this Magalista pork that's raised right here in New Jersey. They actually, to me, look almost like a mini woolly mammoth. They definitely look more in tune with a sheep than looking more like a pig, because of the great hair that they have on them, a great coat of hair. And the way they're raised is similar to Kobe beef. When you get to beef, they're actually much better taken care of as far as their diet. That's why there's a lot of fat in there. But the bright side is it's mostly monounsaturated fat, which is a healthier fat, similar to using like an olive oil with that healthier fat. So I don't have to feel as guilty eating this particular pork burger. Not saying that it's the #1 healthiest thing. If you eat this, you will live to an eternity, but saying that this Magalista pork burger is probably going to be 1/3, 1/4 the amount of your average beef burger. So it's something that you can eat, enjoy, and not feel as guilty about health-wise.
Okay.
Oh, looks like you got some nice goings on there.
We do. You know, before I added these burgers, I was looking for some shimmering, some movement in our olive oil. All right, to make sure that it was nice and hot, and you can see it's nice and hot.
Would you like any seasoning for that? Any salt and pepper?
As a matter of fact, I would. I'll allow you because I was just handling.
Oh, yeah, handling the raw meat. That reminds me of the Peterson episode. Okay, so that's, as you would say, a carefully measured amount, right?
Exactly.
And that's really all these need, because they have some saltiness from the smoked bacon in there, which their bacon, it's from the Magalista pork, the Magalista pig as well. And a little salt, little pepper. You don't need anything else on this.
We're going to get a nice sear on this on each side. So we're going to get plenty of sear on the first side, then we're going to flip it over, because it's going to continue to brown. We're going to put this whole thing right in the oven and let it finish off in our oven.
That's a nice, easy dish, too.
It is easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be complicated to be good. And that's one of the things that we like to teach our students here at Mercer County Community College. So that and arranging the flavor profiles like you've done with your dish.
Absolutely. It's all about flavor.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Can you see that? Can you see that? Oh my, looks like you may have done this before.
Well, I have played a chef on TV.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Wow, those look great.
All right, and you can smell the flavor coming off of them. I mean, they smell just wonderful.
The best thing is that people at home probably don't realize that we're doing this, real life, real live. There's no cutting to do this. So that's the first time you did it, you flipped it over, and it's perfect.
You see how complicated it can be, right? So what I am going to do before I put this in the oven, I'm going to pour off some of the excess fat. As you can see, they're going to shrink up quite a bit. So when you're making your sliders, figure out how big your buns are first.
Hey.
I'm not going there.
Oh.
All right, because it's going to shrink up a little bit, so keep that in mind. But it's all, it's all that monounsaturated fat that's in there that you were talking about.
Absolutely. I'm going to hit it with a touch more salt there. Just a little bit, and a touch of pepper. And again, we're going to have that delicious bacon, tomato, maple jam that we made. So that's going to give it some extra flavor.
All good. All right, I'm going to pour out this excess grease and pop this in the oven. And time for the fish.
Time for the fish. Well, it doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't get any easier than this with the fish, because we're using here a piece of equipment called a thermocirculator. So this is something that you may not have at home. It is a rather pricey piece of equipment. They do make ones for home now. This is sous vide type cooking. Sous vide, very simply, it's a very popular thing, started in the 60s and 70s in Europe. And recently, and probably in the past decade or so, it's become more popular in America, where we're cooking our food inside the bag. So I had this set at 120 degrees. Essentially, this fish can be sitting in there for an hour. It's already cooked. So I don't have to do anything to this. I can take it right out of there and serve that if I'd like. It has basically the same texture as it would when it was raw. So now I'm going to put a nice sear on that, because searing will add some caramelization for flavor, and it will also add some texture as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, I'm going to turn my circulator off. My water is very hot, as you can see. My fish, I left the skin on there on this beautiful golden tile fish. And once my shears cooperate.
So I have to ask, what made you choose tilefish?
Well, tilefish is one of those fish that probably a lot of you out there have never heard of. And another name that sometimes goes by is golden snapper. And I really, Ernie over at Viking Village, see there's a little liquid in here, introduced me to this fish. And from the time that he sent it over, I just really fell in love with it. It has a beautiful skin on there. It's a very mild fish, and therefore you can do a lot with the flavor profile on there. And it's something different, it's something that I think people in New Jersey and beyond, that was my hopes to represent New Jersey on the national level and introduce everyone to the tilefish. The bright side is that Is 3 portions enough?
I think that'll do us.
All right.
The camera crew might not like that very much, but that's enough for
Well,
us.
let's do one more then. So I wanted to introduce the nation to this wonderful fish, and fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, I look at it as fortunately because the whole goal is to represent our local food the best that we can. And Chef Chris Albrecht, who's been a guest on Dish It Out,
Absolutely.
was the winner for the state of New Jersey and edged me out. But he also used tilefish as well. So that was the most important thing to me, is that tilefish from Viking Village in New Jersey got the center stage on the national platform, and he did quite well, earning 3rd place nationally. So the fish has definitely been noted throughout the country. So what I'm going to do is get this nice and hot.
Okay, already. Your pan should be actually about ready to rock here.
Because you can see, actually, this fish is to the point where any more done, I mean, it's going to fall apart.
Exactly.
So
be gentle.
Yeah, you can definitely just dig in just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of this light pan-searing flour on there. And that's going to give it a little bit of a crust. I don't want to put too much on because I just want to get a little crust on there, and I don't want it to burn. A little salt and pepper.
Now, is there any seasoning on the fish before when it went in the bag?
No, that's a great question though, because we've done sous vide before on Dish It Out, and we've done it before where maybe salmon or something like that, and we'll put a thin slice of lemon and some dill and infuse some of that flavor into the sous vide. With this, I really want the flavor of the fish to be the highlight. So how's our pan doing?
Your pan is ready to go.
All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of this olive oil here. And well, that's really hot there.
I told you it was ready to rock.
I know. So that's our smoke point, as we call it, right?
Yes. And our gas streak here is starting to thicken up. You can see here. Ooh, time to sear. Yeah, that's hot enough.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm going to stand back here because I'm afraid he's scared you're going to burn me, Frank.
Well, there's a good chance. Looking that way, isn't it? Okay,
Looking
so,
perfect.
well, let's see. Make sure my fish stays together. Taking it off of the heat, because obviously I have this burner is very good, you know. Did its job quick.
Well, we like to have all the best equipment we can here at Mercer County Community College. Our culinary center is actually very well equipped here.
Oh,
That falling apart thing you were worried about.
I know. Well, let's not. Okay, there we go.
The first one's always practice.
Well, I think the circulator got a little out of hand on the heat, but that's all right. We just need one nice one for plate up.
Exactly.
And I think that's going to be this guy, and maybe this guy we'll put next to him. And like I said, that's it. We just want to get that nice sear on there. You can see that crispness. And pretty soon, I think we're ready to plate up. Our burgers are in the oven, right?
Yes.
Jam and gastrique's good, and fish is done.
It's almost time to dish it out. So join us. We'll be back in a few minutes when we're ready for plate up.
Experience exciting new flavors at the Culinary Center at Mercer. Learn from top chefs in the industry. Gain hands-on experience in our state-of-the-art kitchens. Acquire the knowledge and skills necessary for a successful career in the culinary arts. To learn more, call the number on your screen, the Culinary School at Mercer. We have the recipe for your success.
All right, welcome back to Dish It Out. This is the best part of the show.
Not the best part.
Well, the second best part.
The second best part. Eating is always the best part.
Of course. So we're going to plate up here, and you want to go first?
Oh, sure. I have these beautiful New Jersey tomatoes. New Jersey is known for its tomatoes, so why not utilize them? And look at these pretty colors that we have. You know, it runs the gamut. So what I did for the competition is I actually did some tomatoes from Russo Farm over at Trenton Farmers Market, put a little sugar on that, and took my torch out and torched it and did a bruleed tomato.
Nice.
So I'm not feeling that adventurous. We have so much sugar going on as it is. So.
Yeah, we don't need to caramelize. No, some beautiful heirloom tomatoes, some nice variety of colors there.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty.
Aren't they? So let's see.
So well, you eat with your eyes first, so we want to make it look beautiful. And if it tastes as good as it looks, we're going to be in business here.
Well, let's not get carried away. You want me to start plating, and you want to start talking about your pork, or you want me to finish plating?
Why don't you finish plating up?
All right.
Because I'm going to be done in a jiffy.
Me too. I have this salsa, and this is one of the things that often that we'll do in the restaurants, obviously, is getting back to what we just said, eating with your eyes first. It's got to look good. So by using this little ring mold, we get that nice, pretty shape there. We have our beautiful golden tile fish, sous vide, then pan seared. Put a piece right there. Okay. I put 2 pieces on there.
I think so.
Well, I gotta share with you, right? So I'll put 2 pieces on there. We have that gastrique that you made right there, the blueberry wine, New Jersey blueberry wine gastrique. And to make it extra fancy, we have some beautiful New Jersey micro herbs here. So a lot of times we use microgreens. This is little micro herbs. Just a little bit there so that we still see the beautiful fish, but we have our nice pretty plate. And guess what? I have a few tomatoes left, so while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and do another corner here.
Okay. Well, here we have some nice potato brioche rolls for our sliders, and we have our nice bacon jam here, and it's tightened up for us, thickened up a little nicely for us. And we're just going to put a little bit on our base of our roll for our sliders.
Oh, it smells great.
It does smell very good. You'll have to take our word for it, but it does smell awesome. So next up, we're going to put our sliders on. And
Magalista pork sliders. Not something you have every day, right?
Although, after we eat these, it's something to consider.
I'm telling you, I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait until we go in the dining room, quite honestly. I know you're going to make it.
Good thing comes to those who wait. So.
That's what they say, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. And just a reminder, this pan came out of the oven, and I always tell our students, make sure that you leave a pothole or something over the pan, because you can't tell that's hot. But it came out of a 350-degree oven. Trust me, it's hot. So if someone's going to burn themselves, we make them work for it,
And that's a good tip even at home, because when you're working on the stovetop or something, to use a side towel, who knows who's going to come in there, especially if you have small children, and maybe they'll touch the pan, and sometimes they don't have that reaction time, and next thing you know, you're off to the hospital.
That sounds like fun.
No.
Killjoy.
Not as fun as this, sorry.
We'll be back in just a minute, where we're going to actually get to enjoy this product in our dining room. So we'll be right back to eat. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Dish It Out. And in an effort to help keep it local like we did today, we've got more coming up where we share some of our local experiences here with you. So be sure to join us with that, because we're going to keep it fresh. And thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on Dish It Out.